What's up, y'all? It's me, it's Justin, Mr. CMB. I am back with a video. Shout out to everybody who's liking, subscribing, and sharing the channel. I'm doing another walking video. So I'm actually going to walk to the gym, and it's a little ways, but I figured while I'm walking, I might as well shoot this video. All right, so I'm gonna give you 4 skills that offer freedom, flexibility, high income potential, right? And also skills that stand the test of time. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I've seen it on TikTok and I've seen it on my YouTube channel. And last time I got some questions sent to an email. So if you have any questions, make sure you go to the bio and send an email, and someone will get back to you if it's not me, right? So I got a few questions about people want to make more money, because obviously people want to make more money, and that's just kind of what it is. People want to make more money, right? So I figured, let me do a video about some things that I've, two skills that I actually have, and what are some of the best skills that you could have right now? What are some of the best skills that you could do to offer freedom, flexibility, like remote living or lifestyle living, offers high income, low barrier of entry, and also just skills that stand the test of time. So we're gonna get right into it. I should walk down there. I think it looks better if I go this way. But this way is not the direction of where I need to go, but this looks better. This looks better. All right, so let me figure this out. Anyway, I'll do this. All right, so number 1, and this is a skill I actually just started learning this. So I'm still a beginner in it, but I know people who do it. There's a lot of videos about it. I actually know someone who's made became a millionaire, multi-millionaire doing this, and that's stock option trading. Why stock option trading? You got to understand, if you know anything about the stock market, you can go in, pull money out of the U.S. market, and go on about your day. Obviously, this is a skill set you need to learn over time. I usually wouldn't suggest learning a skill like this by yourself. I actually need to, there's a few people I'm looking at that I want to work with. There's a few channels that actually are very informative about this, that are more detailed. But you got to understand, stock options is great because 1, it offers location freedom. 2, it's a skill set you could have for life. 3, as you build up your trading account more and more, you can actually make your salary in a week. And this is one of the things that I really love about it, is because it's great for introverts. If you're an introvert and don't really like dealing with people like me, I'm like an anti-social extrovert. Like, I'm very social. I love being social. And then when I don't want to speak to nobody, I just won't. And it's not personal. It's just like how I operate. Even though I can go in a room and talk to anybody, I can go anywhere, talk to anybody, connect with anybody. But stock options gives you the freedom to start and stop whenever you want. So if you get up to a certain point and you just want to take a month off and you have enough money, you can do that. If you want to get into the stock market and start pulling money out of the market, you can do that. You can literally write your own ticket. And obviously it's a skill set, so it's something you learn over time. Obviously you get better with time, and you're not going to win every time. I mean, obviously you'll lose money here and you lose money depending on your skill set. But it's such a powerful skill to where if you're making, like, I'll even say this, if you're making at least $100,000 net a year and you learn this skill set, you can make that money in the stock market depending on how much you have saved and working your way up. There is no reason you can't make that on your own in a year in the stock market. Really, realistically, if you're playing with like an account that has over $25,000, I mean, to be honest with you, depending on your skill set, like I said, you can make that in a couple months. I've seen people do that in like 2 days. I've seen someone do it in a day. And it depends. Obviously, they had a bigger account. They could pull $50,000 out of the market, pull $60,000 out of the market, pull $120,000 out of the market. Stock options is one of the greatest ways to make money and not deal with people and not have to, and you can write your own ticket. It is a great way to write your own ticket, and it's something that I wish I started years ago, learning this skill set years ago. And like I said, I'm just now learning it. And over the next year, I'm actually really incorporating it and learning to master the skill set. because it's one of the best ways you could just write your own ticket. When you have this skill set, you can do this for the rest of your life. You do not need to answer to no one but the stock market. And that's the power of it, is you have full power, that knowing that you can make money any given time. You can pull money out of the market, and it's a great skill set to learn. I highly recommend stock option trading. There's some channels, maybe I'll post them below, some people you should check out that I really find very informative. So yeah, stock option trading is number one, and it's great whether you're an introvert or extrovert. And I'm gonna say that because not all ways to make money work for all personalities, and a lot of people don't really talk about this. All right, number two, wholesale and auction properties. I always preach about that because I personally do it. I've been able to make a lot of money over time doing that. What's great is, one, it's a part-time business that you could make a full-time income. It doesn't require much work. I mean, I have a whole system and business system that you could shortcut your way, so you don't have to figure anything out. You can click the link below. Maybe it's pinned in the comment. But basically, I built out the business to where it runs. It's basically to a point runs itself. It's great because, one, you don't have to deal with homeowners, because if you've ever if you wholesale regularly, you got to deal with homeowners. You got to deal with their emotions. I've had deals fall apart at the closing table because someone had a change of heart. Obviously, we were able, they signed an agreement, so they had no choice but to move forward. But that still sucks. You have to go back and forth. Some people might want to sell right then and there. Some people may want to wait a year. It's harder to really control the flow of the deal without you doing like a lot of volume. And that's one of the things I personally hated about just wholesaling regular properties, is just, I got all these VAs. I'm using triple line dialers, like phone burner. It becomes expensive. They're causing like 1,000 people or more per day, with a 1% success ratio on that type of marketing aspect. And it's just the amount of money you spend. For me, I know it works for some people, but for me, to see that much money going out for a 1% success rate, it's just, in my personal opinion, I think it's just dumb. I think it's a bad business model for people who are on limited budgets or don't have another aspect of real estate they're doing at the same time. Just from my personal experience. And, like I said, I did it pretty successfully. I had a profitable business every single year. So, but I still didn't like it, because it was just too much work for the amount of money I would receive. For me personally, like I said, this is my personal experience. But when you wholesale auction properties, you make the same money. You don't have to deal with people so much. All you need to do is deal with the agent and the auction houses. If you know how to analyze, the thing is, you have to be an expert analysis of properties without actually going to the properties. And that's something I actually teach you how to do. You can do it in 5 minutes, and I show you exactly what to look for and also how to juxtapose that so you're right. And it's a skill set that makes you a master at analyzing properties. Like right now, I can walk into any one of these properties, look at comps, see what's wrong, and pretty much determine it. I could do that in 5 minutes or less, just because I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of properties. And obviously we came down to a formula to be able to do that on the fly. And it's great. You have location freedom. You could just wake up once you get your data back and bid. Once you win the bid, it's dealing with the auction houses. I show you how you can raise money, which is not hard to raise money to buy these properties. Partner with people, I show you how to do that. And you could buy these properties and flip them as is or on MLS. And it's great because you're still in the real estate game and you're only doing this part-time. I mean, I've boiled it down to where you can work 5 to 7 hours max and still do this business. And then let's say you just want to take a whole quarter off. You can do that. Let's say you make a specific amount of money for 1/2 of the year, a quarter of the year. And like, okay, I'm done with real estate, let me pause it. And you could just hop right back in the game. And that's what's powerful about wholesale and auction properties. And a lot of people don't talk about it. If you're making like $120,000 or less a year, it's easy to match that income doing this, right? And if let's say you make more than that, now you can build a side business that you have that you're still involved in real estate. You're still able to build those relationships with investors. You're still able to, you become an expert analysis on properties, and it also builds up your portfolio. And you could do this not just with residential, but commercial, the same way that I show you. So I highly recommend flipping auction properties. It's something that you can control. There's always deals. There's always a pipeline. You never have to really search for deals so much. You can hop on a computer, go to some of these sites, know how to analyze it, and boom. And it's really not hard, man. And it's a part-time business that allows you to make a full-time income. And it's really for introverts and extroverts, like I said, because you can actually do this anywhere in the world. I was for a month of like late July, August, I was in Peru, I was in France, and I was also in Brazil. And I still was doing this. And this is why I say it's powerful, because you're still in the real estate game, but you're not running around, scheduling calls, doing all this extra stuff that me personally, I don't like doing. So I highly recommend introverts to do this. It's also good for extroverts too. The reason why I'm throwing this in, because every business model does not fit for everyone, right? So wholesale and auction properties. Number 3, becoming a digital marketer. Now, we live in a day and age to where everybody needs to be marketed. Everybody. Like, I don't care if you're just a regular person, you're a brand. If you're running a business, your business is a brand. Everything is built around a brand, and I know people hate it. I personally don't care about it, but I gotta play the game in order to win the game. And that's just what it is. You need to learn the skill of digital marketing. Someone who knows how to ad buy or do digital marketing and actually be able to get an ROI on the money they spend, or able to get an ROI on growing a following. You will always make money in this economy moving forward, because every business needs to know how to market. The only reason most businesses or small business owners or even content creators fail is because they don't know how to market. They don't know how to market themselves. And it's the difference between marketing and promotion. And that is the number one skill. If you know how to get results, you can kill it. And you could charge, you could write your ticket. I mean, some digital marketers, like I got a guy that I personally know, like he knows for a fact he could double, triple his income by bringing on 3 clients, and because he knows he can get the results. And so this is one of the skills that I suggest you learn. Now, one thing I'll tell you is, like, there's a lot of digital marketers out there, and I would say maybe like 80 to 85% of them suck. They're not good. They don't know how to get results. They don't know how to set up ads properly. They don't know how to get ROI. They don't know how to do copy. Even though using AI for copy is good, it still can't replace the human element of a conversation, because all marketing is psychological. All marketing is completely psychological. Humans are the same, no matter how much technology we have, how much money we have, how much experience we have. The human psyche is all the same. And that's what digital marketing boils down to, is honing in on the human psyche and homing in on like what people's passions and things are. So that's one of the things you have to understand. But if you can master digital marketing, helping yourself get an ROI, helping yourself get actual tangible results, list building, huge skill. If you know how to build an email list for people out the gate by using ad buying, and how to get an ROI on that off of day one, you can charge a premium price, because most people won't know how to do that. And I was even going to show, this is a true story. Obviously I didn't start working with these guys because I had a lot going on at the time, and this was maybe like about a month ago. I was going to be brought on to another company, help them out with their funding. It's a funding company. And I wound up actually just starting my own funding company, for other specific reasons. But they've worked with like ad buyers, and they don't know how to get results. They sent this explainer, and this explainer was like, it was pretty decent, but it was just unnecessarily complicated in my personal opinion. You can really simplify this process. A lot of people make things complicated to make themselves sound smarter, but you're actually smarter when you actually simplify a process. But what do I know? But anyway, I wound up not working for them, but one of the things I was going to do is show them an example of how I built the list. Even I've sent over an ad campaign I ran where I was able to get, actually good premium leads for like $1.56, and this was just like one campaign, and those were really good leads. But I stopped the list at like 300 people, because I was like, I'm not, Yeah, that's enough. If you really want me to do it, blase. But this is the thing. If you know how to digital market, I would suggest, if you don't know how, you should learn it. I don't care who you have to pay for an expert. Learn this skill. And this is great for introverts and extroverts because you don't have to be the front man of the business. And the thing is if you know how to get results, you can get people results. My man, my woman, you will never be broke. And you can write your own ticket because everybody needs marketing. Everybody needs marketing. I would suggest this, even if you are starting out doing digital marketing, give people a taste, show them what you can do, and then stop. Like, hey, if you like my services, we could work together. If you don't like my services, that's cool. But if you can get results, they're gonna throw money at you, obviously. But I suggest when you start out, once you actually have a proven track record, write whatever ticket you want, right? But that's a skill you should definitely learn. Let me go out here in the street because it's a little loud here. But that's a skill you should definitely learn is digital marketing. All right, and number 4, and I'm not sure this is for everybody in a specific way, is content creation, YouTube, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Content creation is huge and it's only getting bigger. We still haven't plateaued at that point to where it's too hard to get in. I think we'll hit that point in maybe like 3 years, because now, especially with this election, the general population finally, and mainstream media finally acknowledged that, mainstream media and the quote unquote celebrity, whatever that means, doesn't work anymore, and people aren't influenced by that. They're influenced by people like me, you, or whoever. I mean, no matter how big I get, this is what people look towards because we're more relatable. And that's what it is. But with content creation can free you. And when I tell you there's an audience for everything, there's an audience for everything. Mukbangs, travel channels, and there's different sectors in that. You have guys who travel just to go get women, which is, whatever. Then you have people who travel and they do a lot of risky stuff. You have people who travel and they do the food travel. There's literally an audience for everything. There's people who travel to get prostitutes, and they have literally huge followings but even behind paywall content. They make a lot of money. Let me get away from this. It's really loud. You have people who child predator channels do extremely well, and they do extremely well behind paywall content. You have people who are in politics. They do extremely well. Right-wing politics actually makes more money. You have people who do basketball videos. Those do well. Anything entertainment does extremely well. The finance channels, which this is a finance channel, probably like the top money-making category in all content creation, because when you look at the audience or demographic, these are people who want to learn how to make more money and they're willing to invest in themselves. So content creation is really great. It's no specific rhyme or reason or way you do it. The most important thing, and this goes back to learning how to digital market, is putting yourself in front of an audience and not just waiting on the organic growth. Like, organic growth is good because most people use it for organic growth. But if you want to take it, like if you look at like something like music or film or video, there's no such thing as an organic growth in a music artist. This is coming from somebody who's worked and still in that industry. There's no such thing as organic growth. Everything is calculated. Everything is a campaign. Everything is calculated. There's nothing organic about music or the quote unquote music industry, because it's basically getting deregulated thanks to social media, with departments getting cut. Also, just the way things are being built, where you can outsource the same departments, because some of these guys have their own services now that they're just licensing or working with independently with other artist teams and things like that. But there's nothing organic about it. Everything is marketing and promo. Well, whether it's paid or done for favors, there's no such thing as organic marketing. It doesn't exist in that industry. And stop believing that. If you still think that, then I'm gonna let you think that. But let me tell you, it's all calculated. Everything is calculated. But If you start content creation, it could be about anything. It could be about cars. Car channels are big. It could be about planes. Plane channels are big. It could be about weather. There's a few guys who just cover weather coverage, and they get more views than not local news. They get more views than national news channels. These are guys who just cover the weather. Go live, cover the weather. Chime in, cover the weather. And some only do specific areas that they live in. And those guys, they're like local forecasters, and they do better than mainstream media. They do better than NBC and all these other places. They have a way hardcore audience. And that's why I said the tide has changed into where and what you can do. So there is an audience for everything when it comes to creating content. Now, only thing you need with content is, like right now I'm on my phone. A lot of people think you need this big production, but really if your phone shoots in 4K 24 frames per second, you're pretty much good. Get some good lighting. Lights are pretty cheap, and you don't even need that. I don't have that. It's just beautiful. It's just another beautiful day in Miami-Dade. But you can just do that and just pick a niche and stick to it. And I would even say, and a lot of people may not agree with this, but if you really want to go faster, depending on your niche, use some digital marketing. I personally, if your objective is to get an audience to monetize, which it should be, and not just rely on ad revenue, I think you should do some paid promo also too. Granted, you can catch the algorithm on one video. And if you're on YouTube, and I'll just tell you this for a fact as somebody who's worked in and with some of these platforms, I could tell you some of these guys, it's not necessarily organic. It's just they've got somebody pushing the button in the background for day one. So don't worry about the algorithm or some of this stuff. And to be honest with you, some of these guys selling these, and this is not a knock to course creation. Course creation is great, but I can tell you, course creation for YouTube for most people is bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Is because I've worked with some of these people at some of these platforms, and they can make anything go viral. They pick and choose. That's a fact. I know this for a fact. They pick and choose. I have receipts for this. They pick and choose. So I mean, it just is what it is. You may not want to hear that, but they pick and choose. Some people are made to go viral. Some people know people and they push them to go viral. Other people are stunted for specific reasons, and it's not necessarily the algorithm. And this is a fact. This is a fact. If nobody's told you this, I'm telling you this right now, but that doesn't mean anything. You got all these other platforms. Facebook is a great place you can make money at and make connections at and grow an audience. TikTok, I love TikTok. TikTok is great, grow an audience. Instagram also too. So you could create content about anything. Anything you like, there's an audience for. You just gotta use your personality, if you're the face of it, as it. Now, one of the things I will say, let's say you don't want to actually show your face, you could do voiceover videos. Voiceover videos do very well. Even in the political sector, the entertainment sector, if you want to do voiceover videos and not show yourself. I mean, you can use AI. Granted, eventually YouTube will not like AI channels because they know it's a money grab, but get in where you fit in right now. But you can use that on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. So you should really focus on content creation. And then also how you're going to monetize it, because obviously ad revenue from YouTube is great. TikTok ad revenue is really good also too. Not as great as YouTube, but it's really good. And one thing I like about TikTok is everybody really kind of gets a shot per se at it. I know they don't really penalize people, but I would say their algorithm is more favorable to everybody based on the results I've seen from just everybody. Like, I mean, you can really monetize just really talking about anything on TikTok. I think it's great. In short form video too, which is phenomenal. So, but one thing I'll say is going with the intention, okay, you want to get the ad revenue, but what else can you sell your audience? Think about that. That way you can actually control the product. Like, I know a guy who has a huge YouTube channel who talks about, cybersecurity, and, he refuses to do sponsors. And because some of these sponsors would be willing to pay him, $5K a read, but he makes so much money selling his digital products. He has his own custom VPN because these VPN companies aren't actually the best. So he built one better than some of like NordVPN and all these other ones. And he has his own custom VPN because he points out the problems in these and basically delivers the solution to his audience. And this guy makes bank. I mean, when I mean bank, I mean he could get like 3, 6K, 5K a read. He's making like 60, 70, 80 grand a week off selling his product. And some of this is subscription based. So, he can pick and choose. But I would also say this growing your audience leads to sponsorships, and it also leads to being able to monetize other ways. So think of some ways you can also sell and monetize to your audience. So that's the video. 4 different skill sets and things you can do to make money and free yourself that stand the test of time. I would suggest like focus in on one of these, do it very well, and you can trickle into other ones. But you have these 4 skill sets and you're making like 100K, you can do that too easy doing one of these things. There's no reason why you can't. I know people complain about low wages and pay. You don't have to worry. You don't have to deal with that. Take one of these 4 skill sets, and you will be free for the rest of your life. All right. So I hope this video helps. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. I gotta go to the gym, and you better hit that subscribe button because I'm giving you stuff that's going to change your life if you actually stick to it. So drop a comment which one you want to do. I want to hear from you. So drop a comment of which one you're going to do. Not want to do, going to do. All right? So like, comment, share, subscribe, and stop the BS. And I want you to choose which one you're going to do. I'm out. Peace. Mr. CMB.